Hello everyone, Vanguard of Valor here, and welcome back to the Sunless Sea. We've been exploring under the ocean, and there are some nasty things down there, but for now we've stopped in Pigmote Isle, so let's take a quick little visit and see what's going on here. Well, what do you know? There is a lovely banquet in our honor as we come back here. We can request repairs if we want, but it looks like that's not available because we have 100 health, but we can definitely enjoy a banquet in our honor. Yes, let's do so. A meal fit for emperors. We have to kneel at the long table, but none rise without eating their fill. United Murinia is flourishing. London may laugh at its new neighbors, but other powers have sent envoys to negotiate for Sintillac. Spiced soup is followed by glistening haunches of meat wrapped in tender chickenwood strips. Both are merely appetizers. By dessert we fear having to be rolled back aboard ship. The Seneschal orders the leftovers delivered to the hold. We've gained 2 supplies and lost 5 more terror. There you go. Let's compile our port report while we're here, and then maybe head off on our merry way. I think overall we've got what we came for here, which was a little bit more food and a lovely little visit. Now we could head back down below the sea, but we know right on top of us is a current going this way. Or going this way, rather. This may work out fine, actually. Let's drop down and see what we can do. We're heading now to the Khan's Shadow, so hopefully there'll be some good stuff over there. The current's gone. That's interesting. There was a current over here before, but it seems to have disappeared. It looks as though the currents under the Z are not consistent like I thought they were. Interesting. Well, we're approaching the Fathom King's Hold, which I imagine is a terrifying place underwater. Because it's all about being deep below the depths anyway. Something's beside us. There's that boat. Are they going to be friendly or not? What are we thinking here? I suspect not. They're friendly. I'm surprised. There's another beloved. We can ignore that. And head closer to the Khan's Shadow. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite surprised to find they were so friendly. This looks nasty. We've got some supplies lying around over here. I wonder, can you go underneath the Khan's Shadow? I think we're underneath the Khan's Shadow right now. That bundle of spikes looks like it's right underneath it. But for some reason, I don't think it's a good idea to sail into that. Let's get some space, and then rise up. We found torpedo components. Interesting. Why is there a giant mass of spikes underneath Khan's Shadow? We have so many pieces of junk in our inventory. We may have to start dumping them if we can't find somewhere good to sell them. For now, though, we'll drop into the Khan's Shadow and we'll take a look at what they offer us. There's a man staring at us. We'll see what he wants. Compile our port report first. Interesting. Compile a port report quickly. Let's take a look in the shops here. They are willing to sell us Stygian ivory, but not to buy it from us, unfortunately. Traveler's friend here is willing to sell us supplies at a reasonable price. Not great, but not terrible. Let's see the man staring at us. His gaze is intense. What does he want? The severe chemist glances at us over his glasses. Beneath the Z, Captain, there's a city of murderers. Within it, a plant known as Tether. Bring me a jarful, and I'll pay you handsomely. Okay, we'll get him a jarful of Tether. He smiles in the manner of a corpse whose skin has just dried out. Excellent. You'll find it in Rack, City of Pleasures. I'll be waiting for you on the Oddish Room, where my studies continue. That sounds unpleasant. We could do this here. Trade a hunting trophy for some Watchful Curios. I don't know, I think Watchful Curios actually take space in our inventory, though. Right now, space is at a premium. It looks like the components don't. The torpedo components that we found. I don't know where they are, though. Oh, here they are. Yeah, so... Let's grab ourselves some more fuel, because we're going to need that for where we're going. Only can afford up to 11, because our inventory is so full of junk. Hooty boy. Is there anything else we can get rid of here that's not going to give us problems? Not really. We could get rid of our empty mirror catch boxes, but I kind of like those still. I don't really want to have to get new ones. Yeah, we're kind of full of junk. Live specimens, Stygian ivory, foxfire candles. All kinds of things we don't really need, but I don't want to get rid of them because we've been losing money as we've been exploring here, and if we can't get more, we're going to be in trouble here. If we make our way north, we should have enough fuel to make it to Mount Palmerston. We can get a lot more fuel there. Aestival will have a bunch of supplies for us. We can probably circle around like this and make our way back. It'll be expensive, but hopefully we can discover some more interesting things on the way that'll make it worth our while. So let's go to the Isle of Cats first, maybe. And we might come back up through here on the way back, so maybe not. We'll head over to Visage and the Reef of Roses and go from there. Reef of Roses sounds like a very interesting underwater place, so we probably should go check that out. Do I know where any of these places are? Sea of Statues would be interesting to go underwater in too. Probably terrifying down there. I don't like the idea of it. I'm afraid of the deep sea, but we're gonna go anyway. Alright, friends. Wrong button. Let's go. Turn off the lights. And venture north. Let's just go underwater before somebody decides to fight us. We could have tried sailing into those spikes, but I have a feeling that's a bad idea. Let's see, though. What's this? There's a current here. Some glowing stones. A settlement to the east. Presumably it's the Reef of Roses here. Well, let's go find it, I guess. Something's chiming for us on our sonar. And it is directly in our path, so I guess we're gonna find out in a hurry. Oh. Big skeleton. Is this a collidable thing, or what? Whale bones. The Z has not been kind. The colossal skull is intact, but the body has been reduced to a gnawed frame of bones. Carvings have been scored into them. Are they inscriptions? We can examine them. We can collect unknown toxins. Or we can harvest Stygian ivory. We don't want ivory. Let's just do the inscriptions for now. We don our diving gear. Someone has made a palimpsest of the bones. This is not a corpse, but a bone book. A Z voyage is engraved on the skull from a city at a confluence of 3 rivers. A woman is at the helm. On the underside of a rib, the same image reversed. She returns. An ancient language is scrawled over everything. Someone has attempted to score out the words, but was prevented halfway through, or gave up. 9 fragments and an intriguing snippet. Alright, nothing super valuable there, but that's fine. It's an interesting discovery, nonetheless. What is this? It's another beloved. Okay. You're going down, beloved. I need to eat, and you've got some tasty meat. And you seem to be particularly weak to our weaponry, because you go down real fast. I do feel like we're going to get in trouble for killing all of these, because they aren't aggressive. So I feel like at some point the game's gonna be like, yeah, you made a mistake, but we're just gonna do it and fillet it for supplies. Gets rid of a bunch of our hunger, 25 specifically. We get a new supply and we get an unprepossessing mass. Inside of which we find 2 more supplies. That worked out well. Let's stop in at Rosegate. This is the Reef of Roses after all. It's not so much a port as a shop with a dock. Colored ceiling lights shine onto display cases lining the walls. A large shop counter dominates the room. Cigars, ashtrays, guillotines, matches, and carved boxes are all for sale. Each step here transports you into a new realm. At one moment, the heady aroma of summer flowers, then the earthly fug of fungus, the bitter warmth of morning coffee, the sickening sweetness of sweat and midnight honey. We can sample a high-quality cigar, we can take a pamphlet, which gives us a port report, we can check out their store, which we will. But the crotchety tobacconist bends over the shop counter, annotating a large sheet of paper. He glances up at the dogged apprentice and bites down on his cigar. His face is blackened with soot. Last batch blew up on me. Welcome back. The crotchety tobacconist reaches across the counter to shake our hand. Our patron has forsaken us. He's only interested in his project to the south. He left my apprentice to starve, and he hasn't arranged delivery of the materials I require. I've run out of rubies to try and convince him otherwise, which makes your intervention all the more propitious. He puffs a great ring of smoke into the air above our head. It takes several moments for the halo to disperse. Captain, we're on the verge of a tremendous breakthrough. I'm about to create something beautiful, something noble. A cigar which will burn underwater. I think I've finally found the right mixture. He taps the sheet in his counter. It's covered in incomprehensible scrawling, equations beyond the mathematical. 3 flavors. Something robust, something bitter, and something luscious. Once I have them, I can finally complete it. Alright. Our Rosegate, the tobacconist's impatience quality is now 1. He won't wait forever. He wants a robust, a bitter, and a luscious flavor. Stale pastry, mild coffee, and kettle steam. I don't know what that involves. I don't know what that involves at all. Let's take a pamphlet quickly. Neatly printed histories of the shop are stacked high in one of the display cases. A notice encourages visitors to take one. The pamphlet describes Rosegate as a cigar shop with a factory on the upper floor. True. Here, they produce and sell an unparalleled variety of cigars. Also true. The tobacconist is described as a world-renowned figure, respected for his dedication to his craft and the brilliance of his creative vision. The pamphlet boasts that his genius will forever alter the tobacconist's art. Well, that remains to be proven. Let's see what he wants here. Laboring for the robust flavor. The crotchety tobacconist glowers at the rumbling crate. We'll need to shift the bloody thing upstairs. Help us get it up there, will you? Okay. Stoking inspiration for the luscious flavor. Takes romantic literature. And the solemn weight for the bitter flavor with unread logs. We have those. We'll need to get those, though, and then come back. The crotchety tobacconist glowers. Let's try this. Straightforward challenge. Let's do it. One labored step at a time, the 3 of us carry the crate up the stairs. The apprentice takes heavy breaths. The tobacconist swears so often, we're uncertain if he breathes at all. Eventually, we make it into the workshop and chain the cargo into the corner. You unfinished. Ugh. Tobacconist huffs, stretching his back. We got you now. Okay, they have an unfinished man. Need 2 ambiguous aoliths for that. Interesting. Well, let's do this one for now. Some solemn weight for the bitter flavor. The dogged apprentice sits by the hearth, perusing his journal. The master wants this cigar to have a certain weightiness. Wants something will stick with you. Let's give him this. The dogged apprentice flicks through the book we hand him. It isn't long before he closes the book with a grin. This is exactly what we were hoping for, Captain. Tragic and hopeless. This should prove potent indeed. Thank you. Okay. Now he wants what? The dogged apprentice licks his pencil and makes a note in his journal. We're making good progress, Captain. Next we'll need something stunningly hopeless. Could I trouble you to put something together? We have lamentable relics, plenty of them. Let's give him that. We set 3 skulls on the counter. One's missing its jaw and has a few overlong teeth. One is missing a patch of bone in the back, brains either blown out or bashed in. One still has an eye, not yet taken by the rot. The dogged apprentice grips our arm for support, transfixed. This is... Oh, yes, Captain, I think this is what we need. What else does he want? Helping prepare the bitter flavor, the dogged apprentice has set out pen and paper. I had an idea, Captain. Could I trouble you to write something cruel? Something to leave the reader speechless? I have an 83% chance of succeeding in this one. Let's give it a try. Uh-oh, we failed. The dogged apprentice sits beside us, watching the flow of ink onto paper. I suppose it's an art in his own right, he says. Crafting an unkindness is still creating. Now then, let's see what you've written. He snatches the page away and frowns. This hurts, Captain, but it's like a good punch to the eye. It'll knock you down, but you can still hop right back up. Nevertheless, I'm sure we can work with this. Okay, that's unfortunate. We just gained a bunch of impatience. And we gained a nightmare's strength. Harvesting the bitter flavor. Well, let's do it and see what happens. The dogged apprentice preens against the hearth, blazing at the back of the ship. We've one less thing to do before our flavors compete. Let's go and have a laugh. In the back of the workshop is a small cage, surrounded by skulls. Inside, a once talkative Ratus Faber sits in a bedding of cruel phrases. We need to overwhelm it with bitterness, the apprentice says. Then we harvest. Do we sneer coldly at it? It's not so talkative now, is it? Its old friends would thank us for making it less annoying, even if it's still ugly. Or do we pretend to weep? Boo-hoo, the poor thing, all locked up and all alone. Just look at the pitiful thing and laugh. Or do we refuse to assist? It's cruel, but these people... we don't know what they're about yet, and I think we'll play along with what they want. Let's just pretend to weep. As we speak, the once talkative Ratus Faber does not stir. Only after we've finished does it gaze at us through the bars and shake its head slowly. The dogged apprentice lays his hand on our shoulder and squeezes it triumphantly. We've got it now! That's as much bitterness and contempt as it can hold. I'll remove the gallbladder in a moment. The master will be so pleased to have his ingredient. Yeah, that rat wasn't getting out of that no matter how it went. There's so many events here. What's going on? Deliver supplies to Rosegate. Without their patron, the tobacconist and his apprentice have to subsist on their stale stores of food. Even the apprentice is growing crotchety. They'll pay well for fresh rations. Interesting. We could give them supplies. Or an hour's rest. The dogged apprentice does have a life beyond making cigars, if only for an hour a day, and he'd gladly spend it with us. Interesting. Shops here. Let us sell our hunter's eye. Let us sell our heart metal ingot. I don't really want to sell any of those things. Probably just buy some more fuel. It's expensive, but so is everything. Let's spend some time here and see what happens. I have a feeling it's going to make him grumpy, but we'll find out. His room, tucked deep within the recesses of Rosegate, is filled with old notebooks. I was an artist, once, he confides. I've been here maybe 4, maybe 5 years now, but I practice when I can. Do we pose for him, or do we give him an audience to a short story? Let's see if we pose for him. He doesn't say as much as we model, only mumbling. Could you look a little more? No, just a little? Yeah, hold that. Once his break ends, he passes us the book. He's captured us well, right down to our smallest blemish. It's not the only time he's sketched us, either. There are recollections of how we appeared on the dock, scenes of us captaining our vessel, and memories of our work together in crafting the bitter flavor. The anguish he spent over the detail is apparent. We have 5 more memories of distant shores. We have a ton of those. Hopefully we'll have somewhere we can spend them all later. For now, though, I think it's about time we leave, so... let's get back out of here. The Z awaits. The Z awaits. We could pop up to Visage, but I think we're going to head straight over to Port Cecil. I'm interested in seeing what's underwater over there. Strange world we find ourselves in, friends. There's not much here, so we have no idea what we're getting into. This is the Scintillac coral. Looks like it. Spikes abound down here. I have a feeling we're going to find more of those maws. Ooh. Big stones. Hopefully we can surface in Port Cecil. That would be a problem if it's too dense with coral and you can't rise up. There's a current there we'll pass through. It also wouldn't surprise me if we surface onto a bound shark. Well, let's give it a try. Okay, we can surface here. Looks like Port Cecil doesn't have anything particularly nasty hiding underneath it. And we don't surface onto a bound shark. That's always nice. There's the eel up there. Well, let's stop briefly in Port Cecil. An extra move. We don't have the final piece yet. Let's gather some intelligence. There we go. While we're here, we can gather some Scintillac, although it might be painful. We have no inventory space, so that doesn't make much sense at the moment. We'll just make our way as best we can. We could buy some more fuel here, which might help. Let's explore the coral. Not what I wanted. A shadowy predator. It's the little things. The click of a sliding stone where there should be silence. A motion in the shadows as if they were thick-stirred like ink. A lull in the cries of Z-bats. Something is watching us, drawing closer hour by hour. We and our crew draw back to back, watching the darkness. Let's try and hunt it down. Ah, we succeeded. Deep silence, a faint scrape like boot leather on stone. The woman on our left levels her rifle and fires, and our crew join her. The fusillade almost drowns out the hoarse screeching of the creature in the shadows. When we drag it into the light, its oily flesh is already beginning to dissolve. Perhaps the light is hastening it. Whatever it was, it had many jointed, leathery limbs, eyes like a bunch of grapes, a folding assembly of mandibles. It stinks of vinegar and mold. We fling a tarpaulin over it and bundle it into the darkest part of the hold. Perhaps someone will want it. We have one strange catch. Alright. Let's buy more fuel, because I have a feeling we're going to need some. It's better to only buy it in the cheap locations, but right now we have such a limited supply, I'm worried. Let's murder this albino more, eh? I missed! Oh, it's because I'm firing the wrong gun. That would do it. Yeah, you're underwater. Good work there, fish. For a second there I was concerned, because I thought I had missed with a full accuracy Memento Mori shot, but I did not in fact do that. There we go, that is a dead moray eel. Let's go over and gather up its remains, and then we can keep going on. Oh, it was a second too slow. I was hoping that we'd be able to butcher it a second afterwards, so we'd get all the hunger value, but let's butcher it and see what we get. We have an unprepossessing mass, a hunting trophy, and another Stygian ivory. We're getting a lot of these. Some case or box is in the salty jelly. Let's see what's inside. We have a cask of mushroom wine this time. Alright. Lots of supplies we've been gathering. Hopefully we'll have somewhere to get rid of them. Polythreme is up ahead, as is Godfall, and something here to the north. Let's drop down below the waves again, though, and see what else we can find. Something behind us. Let's keep moving. Not gonna turn around for that one, thanks. Alright, we're gonna make our way over to Polythreme. I'm surprised that the underwater area hasn't been so dangerous since we most recently had so much trouble before. The little submarines and things that we found were quite deadly previously. This is Polythreme. Nothing new here. Alright, let's pop up to dock quickly then. Replenish our air again and see what Polythreme has for us. I can't tell if we use our fuel faster underwater. The fact that you can turn your lights off underwater is real scary, though. Alright, in Polythrene we can gather some intelligence, which is always good. We don't have a Watchful Curio, so we can't visit the king. We can sell our Stygian ivories here, though, which is probably good. We don't need to sell all of them, but getting rid of most of them seems like a good idea. I think we'll hold on to everything else, but we'll get rid of some of our Stygian ivory. Alright, let's swing around and visit that new location we've discovered. It's probably horribly unhealthy for us to go there, and we are getting dangerously low on fuel, so we might not make it to Mount Palmerston at this rate. Which would be terribly unfortunate, but we'll deal as it goes. For now, we go back under, and there's the faces! We're going underwater where the faces are. This is going to be awful. I forgot about the faces. Are they underwater here? They must be, right? Yeah, there they are. I'm not going too close to those things. Dahut. Ooh, that's a wall. How do you get into here? Okay, there's the entrance. Oh, the mouths! The mouths! Alright, Dahut, no, stop! Whew! Drownies built a copy of London as it never was. A cathedral, and houses, and fields of flowers, all underwater. An almost impossible challenge. Drownies built a copy of London indeed. The water is cool and luminous, and at the same time it is breathable air. That's weird. It is easy to gain terror in Dahut. With recent news we can stay. Well, let's just visit. We've lost all our terror again. Water and air are the same thing here, a betrayal of nature, or a truce between opposites. Swim up the side of the cathedral if you like and peer into its rose windows. You'll be able to make out anything inside. Breathe deep. Fill your lungs with a substance cooler and more cleansing than ordinary air. Walk in the gardens with a fish about your knees. Do not ask questions about the king of this place. Those will go unanswered. Let's ask a drownie for news.
The weather has been dismal lately. Hardly a single wreck since St. Egidius's day. And then it was only a little yacht with a few sailors aboard. And 2 of those were able to swim to shore and didn't come to Dahut at all. We just hope for the spell to break.
I don't know what that means, but let's see. Oh. Good fuel prices. Not a lot of them, but they have good prices. Supplies for reasonable prices too. We can buy drowning pearls here. Oh, that's our fuel. Alright, we'll buy a bunch of them, because that's a good price for fuel. The Dahut exchange could almost be Wolfstack, indeed. Interesting. Could buy another supply or two. Might as well. We're running low on funds, which is not good. But we're learning about all kinds of new and mysterious places. We'll have to come back to Dahut with recent news. Then I'm sure we'll learn something interesting. We may stop by Godfall as well, because Godfall should have a good way for us to use our Stygian ivory. This is it here, I believe. Try to avoid crashing into the side of it if we can. The screaming mouths. Alright, let's pop back up. An underwater settlement a long way to the northeast. Well, we're heading up there, so I'm sure we'll find it soon. Yeah, it's right on our path. Let's stop in at Godfall. In Godfall, what do? We can speak with the monks about their newest member. This man be interesting. We can also speak to the blood and of shouting. We don't have enough wine to talk to them about that, though. Let's speak with the monks about their newest member. They escort us to his cell. Used to be a sailor, one of them whispered. We were hoping you could help us work out what's wrong. The supplicant. An old bearded man sits cross-legged and naked in Godfall's smallest monastic cell. At the sight of the group, he flinches. His wrinkled skin is covered in faded scars. No more freedom, he whispers. 10 of the clock, we sweep. 15 past 10 of the clock, we wash. There are orders. There must be orders. No more freedom. Please. A monk hands him a mop and bids him clean the entire chapel by first bell. The supplicant squeezes it tight. Yes, master. He whispers, tears of gratitude welling up in his eyes as he scampers off. There is an awkward silence. He should make a very devout monk, one of the others ventures, once we finally get him into the habit. Interesting. That doesn't do anything. We have to go to Nook, I'm guessing. Interesting indeed. Okay, well, let's talk to them about blood. We've got a bunch of hunting trophies. Ah, right. We trade hunting trophies for a selection of stories. The trophy inspires the monks to feats of bragging. This one broke a giant albino more's neck. That one wrestled a hepticheer. A third punched his way out of a bound shark. A fourth, and so on. We're largely forgotten, but there are truths of note in amongst all the tipsy boasting. Hunting trophies don't take up inventory, do they? Nope. Alright. And let's talk to them of shouting. Get our port report. There we go. We've done many of these things before, which is why I'm not too worried about doing them again. There's no shops here, so we can't sell anything, so we'll just be on our way then. We leave Godfall. Come on now. Leave Godfall. There's the Antonine Abyss. And we're heading up north this way. Actually, you know what? I think what we'll do is I think we'll end our episode here. So thanks for watching, everyone. This has been Vanguard of Valor, playing a little bit more Sunless Sea for you. If you enjoyed our episode so far, let me know what you thought about it in the comments below. And until next time, bye-bye.